Hi.
Yeah.
What a great co-host you are, Jay. You're calling yourself a co-host, but you're not really that. You're the vice president. You got to run with Biden. I think
I probably would win.
I'm playing with my Hillary doll right now.
Oh boy, you're gonna put her in the mix now too?
This is for bowling. It's a bowling for dollars. Well, the dollars are a lot smaller. So are her chances. Welcome to America.
Yes.
So I had a good idea for this pandemic virus that we're all going to be living with for a long time until somebody solves the crime. And we're going to have to bring out some of the big people to go and find out what this is all about. You know, we have to get people who really know how to solve crimes. So we got to get Gloria all right, get her out of her money mode, and send her to China. And then maybe there'll be a slow boat and she will never come back with that tired ass of hers. But,
you could get the lady that played Murder, She Wrote. I mean, yeah. She solved everything.
That's right. Angela Lansbury.
Yes.
She's still very active, too.
Yes, she is.
One of the things I wanted to come up with, Jay, was this, I don't know if you saw this or not, I thought that we need transparency in our government. And on our half hour today on Memorial Day, which you and I are celebrating, I introduced the new transparency mask, which has been terribly forgotten.
You have a patent on it? Oh, that's so funny.
And what's missing is a microphone on the inside.
No, you can hear you.
But everybody loves a mouthpiece. You kind of get the idea, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. That's really good. And I think everyone at home should not try this because
don't try this at home because you suffocate.
Yes, and, especially if you're a child. Do not try this at home.
This is the thing you get off of the pillow guy. Yeah. When you get a pillow, you get one of those plastic bags that's thrown in free, of course, you know.
Oh, of course.
Cost them 10 cents for 4,000 of them.
Really?
Did you get your check?
Yeah. Did I get? Oh, yeah. I got the first one I got. Yeah. I'm looking.
How many you won? You're not working for the government, are you?
I might as well be.
Well, then go to Mexico and come back. We'll take care of everything. Come on.
Do I climb the wall or go underneath it? How
much did you get? You get.
We got the full amount for both of us. Yeah.
What's the full amount? What is that?
Well, it was $1,200 each, $2,400.
Why would you get one for your wife too? She hasn't worked since you did. How does she get a check?
Because she's disabled. That's why.
So am I. I'm a mental paraplegic. Do I get another check?
You're saying that she does not deserve a check.
No, I'm saying I'm wondering what the rules of the game are. I keep forgetting. We're playing with the Treasury Department.
They gave it to everybody in the family, up to
everybody
6.
in the family.
Yeah,
the bird ought to get one. I got the bird here.
Yeah, the bird should have gotten a check.
It's only seed money.
That's good.
And the bird. Who actually is not the only pecker in this house. For all of us in radio are the hearing impaired. All of our hearing has been destroyed terribly. And we don't sue. We don't sue for that. I don't call myself handicapped.
That's why I wear these. My God, I can't hear anymore.
Was that a miracle ear?
No, it's a real deal. And I've had them for a couple of years now. Because after all those years of wearing headphones on radio stations and in my basement when I was younger even,
yeah,
I've lost the entire high end completely. So if you don't talk below a certain, frequency response, I can't hear you. So keep speaking like that with the high end so I can't hear you.
Well, I have the gift of selective hearing.
Yeah, well, I think most men do.
There's an adjustment. Now, let me tell you what Les Paul did, okay?
You do.
Now, Les Paul and I used to go to the Army-Navy games, because he's no, I'm sorry. It was Jack Wayman. Les Paul was my other 95-year-old friend.
Yeah,
but Jack Wayman.
Get your old guy straight, will you?
I've gone to too many funerals. I've mixed up the names. Did you hear about that one?
No.
I went to the guy who owns the Iridium died, and Mr. Sturm died.
Oh.
And he also died the same time Mickey Freeman, who was on my show and a friar and a wonderful comic. You know, he was on Hogan's Heroes. You know who he is, right? Yep. He died also at the same time. So the Riverside Chapel is that Jewish chapel of choice on Amsterdam, in New York. And so I had to go to both funerals, and they were an hour apart. And they wanted me to give a little bit of a talk, you know, I mean, as we all are, showing our respect. So what I did was I gave Mickey's name at Irvin's funeral and Irvin's name at Mickey's funeral. I got them mixed up, so I buried the wrong guy.
Oh, Lord. I did that once. I did that once. I went into a funeral home and sat in the back of the room for a half an hour before we realized it was not the right person. Well,
I want to do that at my own funeral. So the thing that I was going to bring up here, I forgot where I was going, was the story about the Army-Navy game.
Okay.
And I used to go to West Point with Jack Wayman, who founded the Consumer Electronics Association. Now, Jack had the hearing aids like you, and he was very big on having that hearing aid. Nobody likes them because they're cumbersome. Even Pat Cooper, our friend, he takes them off. He doesn't like them. So I was telling Les Paul about Jack Wayman at the Army-Navy game and how he hated these things.
Yeah.
So Les Paul and I were out one night, and Les had an idea to invent one of these great little hearing aids that would get rid of the background noise, and you would only pick up the person you're talking to, like now.
Which is my problem, generally.
Yeah. It kills the background, because the background in a hearing aid in real time, and also on radio and television, that sound gets picked up first.
Yes.
When a garbage truck drove by here earlier today, that was louder than my garbage. You know, it was really going by.
I actually heard it on your rap. I heard it.
Oh yeah, well that happens, you know. So you gotta just make up for the background sound that comes on louder than the present sound.
True.
That's my point. Anyway, Les gave me the prototype of this hearing aid, which was a size just like that, like a cashew nut, you know, that size.
Yeah.
And I gave it to Jack Wayman, and we went to the Army-Navy game, and I gave it to him, and he put them on the counter right next to the bowl of nuts. The rest you could figure out. You talk about chewing your ear off. I mean, this guy was unbelievably stupid. If I didn't see that, he would have eaten his own ear. You know, he would have eaten all of his sound. And a lot of my words I'd like to not have, you know. So, Jay, you and I worked together for a long time, and you were a disc jockey long before it was fashionable. And then you became a talk show host. We covered a lot of this once before.
Yeah.
But we got to bring this up again on Memorial Day. This is Memorial Day, and I want to remember something good.
Yeah.
But I can't think of anything I liked. I think this was Decoration Day, wasn't it, where we went to visit graves of soldiers and put flowers on them?
Memorial, memorial to everybody who served, yes.
Well, yeah, but they used to have individual graves. We'd go to their graves, and we would go into Forest Lawn or wherever it was, you know, the cemeteries for Arlington National Cemetery. And I don't know if you recall, I did a show from there with Lou Christie and what's his name? It was the country singer that did that In America song. Oh. Very popular after the 9/11.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I had him on with me, too. We all did a broadcast from the women's cemetery at Arlington with the first female Marine.
Wow.
And I don't know if she's still with us. This was a few years ago. But the thing is that we honored the graves of soldiers and Marines, you know, military. And that was the focus of the whole thing. Now it's become a sale.
Of course.
You know, now you buy your car online for Memorial Day, and the washing machine and the $800 refrigerator that's usually $12. You know, what are we doing? Is this like, you know, welcome to Merchandise Mart USA.
Isn't that horrible? It's just horrible.
Well, you know what's horrible about it is there used to be blue laws where they could not sell on Sundays or serve liquor.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that was early on in the 40s, I think, 50s.
I know. I remember going into Two Guys from Harrison, which was the best discount department store in the history of humankind. And they're owned by Vornado, who now owns everything in New York, or used to own everything in New York, and they sold it to the Chinese. Anyway, you couldn't buy certain things in there on Sunday. It was the oddest thing. And then suddenly the law went away, and boom, you could buy whatever you wanted. Weird.
Well, some idiot in China bought my name. I mean, who the hell would want to be me? It's like being Larry David.
Happen.
Someone going to buy Larry David's name? Would you buy that name?
Oh, but here's why they do it. They grab it, so you have to pay hostage fees practically. They take it, and like my name, Big Jay Sorensen.com, I don't own anymore because I forgot about paying the bill, and somebody grabbed it, and they want about $1,000 from me to get my own name back. What's up with that?
Well, that's the same thing. I somebody in Beijing, which I have such great regard for the Chinese right now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I love the idea that they are screwing everybody from Hong Kong to, we should talk about that. All right. Myra and I visited China, Beijing.
That was your producer from WOR, yes.
Was a show that I did from there.
Uh-huh.
And in Hong Kong, which was owned by the British, they have a 99-year lease, which was expired.
They did,
in the late 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave the Hong Kong territory back to the mainland of China. Now, the mainland of China speaks Mandarin. Hong Kong, they speak Cantonese.
Okay.
That's why when you see Cantonese food, it's from that region.
Right.
The other crap is from Mandarin. I mean, you could tell the smell of the peanut oil all the way from the Atlantic to the China Sea.
Yeah. And American Chinese food is not what they serve in China.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
And they have McDonald's. And they have all of our franchises. And they own them because they have China Inc., which is the government owning things. See, we sold out a long time ago. This is a country of everything's for sale. Everything. Whatever you're wearing right now, like I got the shirt that says America, someone's going to buy this and sell it back to me too much. But, I think what's going to happen here is we can't solve anything without knowing what it is.
Yeah.
And I don't know how we can possibly work on solving a virus when we don't know what it is. We call it something.
Yeah.
And we got $30 billion we gave to one company to research something that nobody understands what it is. So give me $30 billion because I also don't know what it is. And I also am not going to give you a vaccine. But, I'm being facetious. But the fact is that no one knows what this is or where it came from. And there's all kinds of theories about where it came from.
But yeah, right. And the conspiracy theories are driving me crazy. But the thing, and people start to believe them after a while. Thus, that's why you're seeing people out on the streets with no masks on and wanting to open up gymnasiums and wanting to do everything. And I still
because we're all spoiled children here. We're spoiled by having everything easily. And, it's all been done for us under the guise of sales.
Yes.
So the capitalist regime that we are living under, which is to return to the economy.
Yeah.
Hello, you and I have been out of work for more years than that economy was on.
Yeah.
And where does that come from? Wait a minute. There's a point I'm making here. Television. Why? Because it sells.
Yeah.
And, like the O.J. Simpson trial was out for a year. Everybody used that as a soap opera. It was entertainment. A double homicide is not entertaining, folks.
No, but it became that. Yes, you're right.
Well, yeah, because all you care about is the amount of people who tune into something. Like all of a sudden we have mass consciousness. This is the most unconscious population since I've been born, because nobody tells them the truth. And the only guy who should be the vice president of this country is Jack Nicholson. Sit there and say you don't want to know the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
And you can't handle it. And that's it. So I'm saying all these things, I'm unloading. But the fact of the matter is somebody ought to talk this way on regular television and straighten out this game. But you kill all the car commercials. We're practicing seclusion is what we're practicing. Yeah. And the inclusion really needs to be taking care of the people who are already served. Not at a cemetery on Memorial Day with flowers in front of my grave. Right. Take care of me now while I'm here and I'm vital and I have a brain and I can give somebody something. They can learn from me.
That is so right, Joey. That is so right.
And that's what's wrong.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that's wrong. They don't we don't honor the people who are doing this great work that I'm doing right now, because I'm putting this out. I'm putting it out there.
Yeah.
And, if you don't like it, it means that something is inside of you that really is against the grain. And if it's against the grain, it must be wrong.
Yeah.
So examine your own conscience. And if anybody ever had that, the conscientiousness is really missing now as a nation. We step on everybody. We're so separated. Everybody's separated. You love Trump, you hate Trump. You want everything he says, you want nothing he says. Where did this come from all of a sudden? I mean, a lot of people didn't like Kennedy when he was president because they didn't like what he was all about. He was all about getting things done by having us do the work, Ask not what you do for your country, but what your country can do for you, what you can do for your country.
But see, somebody does agree with you. There are people who will agree with you, and that's okay. It's like, see, this is like arguing on talk radio, Oh, I think my grandson.
Say hi to Papa.
Hold on a second.
Podcast. Hold on.
My grandson is on the line right now, and he is a newly minted Marine.
Oh, hi.
Say hi. That's Christopher. Christopher is a member. He's a private in the U.S. Marines, and we are so stoked. He just happened this morning to graduation.
Congratulations, Chris. Good going.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. We love you, boy. We love you.
Don't hang up.
All right, there you go.
Semper Fidelis.
There you go. I knew that was going to happen sometime in the broadcast today. But,
that's good.
Wow,
that's good. Well, I did the documentary at Paris Island.
Yes.
And having gone through all of this for a couple of weeks of filming everything.
Is that online? Can somebody see that?
It's on my website, which is now owned by the Chinese. Somebody in China wanted to be me. And I think that person in China ought to pay my Visa card, too. This is a Memorial Day that people won't forget.
Yeah.
And that's the memorial part. I think people ought to remember a lot of things that a lot of people have milk of amnesia. And they better just start waking up a little bit. Indeed. And realize how we got here.
Well,
we got here because somebody died and somebody screwed. That's how you got here.
Mm-hmm. On that note, this has been an interesting discussion, and I hope that people pay attention to what we were talking about.
Yeah, and call Jay, not me, because I know you'll take the heat.
If you want to complain, you call my number.
He wants to be the vice president.
Yeah, I do, right. I'm not the right color, nor do I have the long hair. Well, I do have long hair.
I don't want anybody to think this is a racist-leaning conversation. I want them to think about what I'm saying is that Martin Luther King was not about separation. He wasn't about black people catching up.
No.
It was about having equal opportunity for everybody, and then you make your own choice as an individual. It's about people choosing to be together, not because some organization is going to be able to have more than the other. That sounds communist, doesn't it? When you start saying everybody should have the same thing, that's kind of like. I just believe this is a project that we need to work on as a country.
I think so too, and I think we may have been able to kick it off right here. Why not? Why not? We have nothing to lose.
Oh yeah, your life. Smile, beer, and umbrella, but don't get a mouthful of rain.